Inauguration Day. We get a look at the big moment and what another Trump presidency could look like. Plus, people from Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan traveled to D.C. today. We get their thoughts on one of the biggest days of the year.
Still in the midst of our alert days that are going to stretch Tuesday into Wednesday for the bitter cold Arctic weather. Highs tomorrow in the single digits. The wind chill 10 to 20, perhaps even up to 25 below zero into Wednesday morning. We'll highlight when we turn warmer in my full 10-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Kaylee, to you.
Thanks for joining us on this Monday night on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marentet. Let's take a look at your top stories for this alert day. As we deal with below freezing temperatures, there are still places in Toledo that people can go to stay warm. Silver Barker brings us the details on the city's warming centers.
Hot coffee, water, and entertainment. A few of the many free things you'll find at warming centers in Toledo.
Cereal bars, we're offering lunch also. We got lunch from different local restaurants here.
Stevenson Harris Jr., the president of Frederick Douglass Community Association in Central Toledo, says they'll have hot meals to give to people who stop by.
We have different, clothes, shoes, coats, hats, and things like that, mittens and things like that for people,
The YMCA at Wayman Palmer is one of the places the Toledo-Lucas County Homelessness Board is partnering with to ensure people are warm over the next couple of days.
We're concerned that this polar vortex was going to put people in danger, because being outside in this weather could just end your life.
Mike Clark with the board says the organization had crews out since yesterday evening, patrolling areas of encampments, visiting people, and warning them about the cold and offering rides.
We were hoping that maybe there would be an afternoon rush after other daytime activities maybe ended and they needed someplace to go. And then we can coordinate overnight, places to go overnight when the time ends here at 8.
Clark says blankets are also available for grabs at the center. Inside the Laborers Local 500, there's donuts for the taking as well.
For information or if you need help finding a warming center, you can visit our website. There are schools already deciding to close down for the next few days because of the cold. If you want to know if your district is on the list, you can check it out on your phone thanks to WTOL 11. Just text the word closings to 419-248-1100 to get a list sent right to your phone.
Yeah, the weather's going to be a big deal with those closings. It's all due to the extreme cold that we have, and we gave you the heads up a week ago issuing these alert days, and here we are delivering on that extreme cold Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, that long-lasting cold. We've got sub-zero wind chills, and that heavy coat could be needed, and an idea to limit outdoor exposure, especially if you work outdoors, and many districts choosing just to go ahead and cancel school across much of Northwest Ohio and Southern Michigan. Wind chills of 10 to 25 below zero, something we're still going to be facing over the next 24 to 48 hours. Snow is occurring off of Lake Michigan. No snow across Northwest Ohio and extreme southeastern Michigan. We have clear skies. And that's going to allow us to turn fairly cold tonight. We're in the upper single digits. We'll head close to zero for the overnight low, and that wind chill value could be as cold as 10 to 15 below in the morning. So the most important thing I'm going to show you is right here in the hour-by-hour forecast. Let's put this one into motion. By daybreak, many areas 10 to 15 degrees below zero. Perhaps a few areas east of I-75 only around 5 below zero, which is the reason why not all districts have closed at this point, but many in the Toledo Metro and up into southern Michigan have, and it gets even colder, the wind chills by the afternoon. There we go. 10 to 15, even up to 20 below zero by about 5 o'clock Tuesday. And this is when I think we get into the worst of it, Tuesday night and into Wednesday. By Wednesday morning, we're looking at wind chill values close to 20 below zero with actual air temperatures that will be single digits below zero. Could take us to about Thursday morning before we finally rise back above the 0 degree mark as far as the wind chill. Now, how about this? Toledo, 10 degrees. Fairbanks, Alaska, 24 degrees. And Miami, Florida, 60. What a spread, but in between the Arctic air that has made its way out of Canada. 10, 20, even up to 30 degrees below zero. It's intruding across much of the Great Lakes and eastern half of the United States. In fact, this cold air, it is going so far south to the Gulf Coast that winter storm warnings, never would I have imagined we'd see winter storm warnings from Texas through Louisiana, the panhandle of Florida, across Georgia, southern Mississippi and Alabama, and into the southern part of the Carolinas. That is about 1,200 miles of winter storm warnings, and they are going to get clocked with heavy snow, hammered through the day Tuesday. across eastern Texas. Louisiana could get 4 to 6 inches of snow. A winter storm in the Gulf of Mexico truly is a rare feat to achieve. Highs in the single digits for us just goes to show how cold it is as we experience some of the coldest weather of the entire season. We'll be close to 1 for the low on our Tuesday morning. Highs only in the single digits. My 10-day forecast is alert days for Tuesday into Wednesday. We will be dry, bitter cold weather, as cold as 4 below Wednesday morning. Wind chills could go 10 to 25 below zero. Back into the 20s for Thursday and Friday, and then 30s Saturday, Sunday, and into next week. And things will be fairly quiet the rest of January. Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Our team of WTOL 11 meteorologists are working hard to bring you the latest information about the alert days that are here and here to stay for the next few days. They'll send out daily updates to the WTOL 11 weather app. All you have to do is download it. It's free in your app store. President Donald Trump took the oath of office today as the 47th president of the United States. He has a long list of executive actions he wants to sign to kick off his second term in office. President Trump is the first since Grover Cleveland in 1893 to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Former Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama all turned out for the historic event today, as did outgoing President Joe Biden. People from all across the country traveled to Washington, D.C. to experience President Trump's inauguration, including some people from Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. Megan Hartnett has the story.
Although there was some disappointment with the inauguration being moved inside, it doesn't mean it wasn't an exciting day, according to State Representative Gary Click.
The main thing is that we have a new president, a returning president. Who's come in to just take America back.
State Representative Click and other members of the Ohio Republican Party watched the president be sworn in at the Capitol Hilton. This is State Representative Click's first inauguration he's attended.
And it's a great one to start on.
But some people were there in 2017, like Blissfield, Michigan resident Aaron Osmus.
I will say the biggest difference between this time around and in 2017 was definitely the cultural, I don't know what you want to call it, the cultural variety. I mean, there are definitely people, all nations, creeds, colors, origins, walks of life.
Osmus says 8 years ago, people were more timid, but this weekend he says it's red everywhere he's gone, and he says mixed in with the red are tons of security officers.
There was law enforcement at every single intersection for I couldn't tell you how far in every direction.
State Representative Click says he too noticed the elevated security.
They had some trucks, some, snow plows and things blocking certain roadways. I felt safe the entire time. I never felt worried, never felt threatened.
As the president spoke after being sworn in, State Representative Click says it was clear that he was ready to start the next 4 years.
The first time I saw his face close up, he just kind of had that look, I'm ready to get to work. Let's get through the ceremonial stuff. Give me my pen. Let me start signing some documents here.
Well, as President Donald Trump officially takes office for the second time, many wonder how his first term will look different than this term. We caught up with political science professor Sam Nelson, who says policies and executive orders could start getting passed in just the next few days, from immigration laws, tariffs to foreign policy. There are a number of changes you could expect to see soon. And with support from his new cabinet and lawmakers, Nelson says this time in office will be different than the first.
The kinds of friction between the president and the people working in the government is going to be significantly less. He faces fewer obstacles in that regard to do what he has prioritized as his agenda.
This time around, Trump also has a more friendly judiciary. He has 3 appointees on the Supreme Court and hundreds of judges he appointed in his first term, which means there are more judges not willing to block any actions the president takes. Former President Joe Biden announced a series of preemptive pardons on his final day, minutes before leaving office. Biden pardoned 5 members of his family, 3 siblings and 2 of their spouses. Earlier, Biden pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members and staff of the January 6th committee who investigated the assault on the Capitol Hill. In a statement, Biden wrote he did it not because they did anything wrong, but because he feared political attacks from incoming President Trump.
They pardoned a lot of people. They pardoned, before we even get to today, they pardoned, 33 murderers, absolute murderers, the worst murderers. You know, when you get the death sentence in the United States, you have to be bad, because they don't give it much.
President Trump is reportedly preparing to pardon people jailed for their roles in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. For more information on the inauguration as well as reaction, WTOL 11 has you covered. Just head to WTOL.com for our free news app for all of the stories and more. Two organizations came together to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day and put together school supply boxes. 60 volunteers with the United Ways of Greater Toledo and Perrysburg Heights Community Association put together 25 school supply boxes. Supplies included things like tissue boxes, disinfectant wipes, and hand sanitizer, and boxes will be handed out to classrooms in Wood County.
Any opportunities that we see to do that kind of thing, I think it always just means a lot that we're able to not only bring the experience, but to have the support of the community to support, these kind of efforts.
United Way members say that schools have already used up the supplies they got earlier this year, so boxes like this were needed. Well, Maumee Mayor Jim McDonald will deliver his State of the City tomorrow at noon, and he'll have plenty to talk about. According to a city spokesperson, McDonald will touch on economic development projects currently in progress. No word if he will address the ongoing efforts to recall him as mayor, administrator, and members of city council. A group of Maumee residents began to recall efforts following a pair of proposed ordinances last year involving sewer lines and rental properties. Also happening tomorrow, Toledo will release the list of residential roads slated for reconstruction this year. Road construction season usually starts in early April. Along with this year's residential roads list, the mayor will also unveil what the city describes as major road construction projects planned throughout 2027. We will be at tomorrow's announcement and bring you all the latest details throughout the day. Well, gas prices are on the rise in Toledo. Gas Buddy experts say prices have gone up almost 22 cents in just the last week. Right now, we're seeing prices around $3.09 a gallon. Gas Buddy says this is lower than a month ago and lower than it was a year ago. Nationally, gas prices are up too by almost 7 cents in the last week. Well, I'm sure you've heard this before, but trust is something you spend a lifetime earning, and one action can destroy it. Business professors say if you're looking for guidance on life at work or at home, you might want to focus in the new year on leadership and how to win a room.
It requires really competency and character on the part of the leader. And people are quick to pick up on those two things. Is my boss, is my leader competent? Does he or she know what they're doing? At the same time, do they demonstrate great character?
Hey, Kaylee, joining you now. Well, I tell you what, Clint is one of my favorite guys in the Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan area, and he came on. He has been traveling the country, traveling the world for that matter, just to school people on what it takes to win your room as far as your business, your family, your community, and just being a leader. I've told my kids since they were very little, as they got out of the car each and every day to go to school, I said 3 L's: listen, learn, and lead. Just to have them take that with them. And it's something that they're touching on. And he talks about that during the course of the show.
During the course of the show, he also spoke about mental health and that should start in grade school, and that there are many barriers when it comes to being honest with yourself and opening up.
Yeah, he talked about the importance of that, but also my second guest, Bernadette Joy Graham, who is a psychologist here in the area. But one of the things she talked about, too, are some of the barriers that she has talking to those in the minority communities. And she said, this isn't just a minority issue.